Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, we're coming up to Thanksgiving. Historically, Thanksgiving has not been a very friendly holiday for me because I have a very different lifestyle than a lot of my peers, right? So, let me give you a couple of examples. This is probably an situation that is best explained by example. In 2021, I had just moved back to Seattle. We had gone back to the office. I was teaching at the Washington Tech, a technical institute, as well as a tutoring center. I had a little bit of minor toxicity incident at the tutoring center. What had happened was that we normally have three, four tutors on the floor at a time, and there's usually 10 to 12 students. But because it's Thanksgiving week and all of a sudden the travel was also open just before that, you guys remember 2021, a lot of my colleagues went home to their family or they had family get togethers. So it was only me and my boss. My boss came from Turkey. And most of my colleagues were also similarly situated in terms of background. And we still had a lot of students. You got to remember, a lot of these students had not had face to face interaction with a lot of people for a long time, so they really treasured it, which is really nice. It's just really busy, that's all, because all the other tutors were away. So on Wednesday, Thanksgiving Eve, the first couple hours we were scrambling. I think the shift was from 3 to 7. From 3 until 6 o'clock, we were scrambling. At 6 o'clock, one of my favorite students come. I was tutoring an 11-year-old girl in calculus, if you could believe it. Needless to say, one of my favorite students. Actually, she and I had another funny situation. Aside from the fact that she was studying calculus, she was really fascinated at how I was trying to discipline another girl who was using her cell phone at the tutoring center and causing a large amount of distraction for all the other students. The other girl was, I think, 13 or 14 years old. And she would always point out, look over there. And the two of them, not surprisingly, feuded over that. And it was nice. It gave me a nice, warm, fuzzy feeling that she cared about something other than her calculus studies, right, which was already impressive in its own right. I have good chemistry with a lot of my students like that. And unfortunately, it was only that one student, and my boss asked me to leave. I was really disappointed. Actually, a couple of reasons why I was disappointed. First of all, I we just opened from the quarantine, and I like having something to do. It's not even just about the money or anything. And then I was curious if he was going to pay me for that 1 hour. After all, it's just before the holidays, and I worked all of those crazy hours, right? And so, long story short, when I got my pay stub and I looked at it, he didn't pay me for that 1 hour. It was really upsetting. Not because of the money. I wasn't tight on money or anything, but the gesture was very upsetting, right? He didn't treat me as part of the team. And unfortunately, that was not an uncommon circumstance for me. I was working at a technology startup just before Thanksgiving one year. And one day, while I was at lunch, one of my colleagues had asked me if I would mind switching. We had this rotation of bug fix person responsible for the bug fixes, and he asked if I would switch with him. Now I had no vacation planned for any foreseeable futures. I didn't think very much. It's just a different week, right? It wasn't until I okayed it and he switched it did I realize that aside from him wanting to go on vacation, there was another reason he wanted to switch. It was a really busy bug fix week, and he knew it. He had been working there for 3 years. I was only there for 3 weeks at the time, and he knew it. He took advantage of my lack of understanding of the situation. And what was really even more upsetting than that was when he came back from his vacation. I wanted to kind of confront him, not confront in the sense of, oh my God, I'm going to kill you for what you did. I wanted to confront him in the sense of maybe I could get a return favor, right? But I brought it up and he was so upset about that. He completely ghosted me for the rest of my time working, which wasn't very long, in large part because of that. And he completely ghosted me after every time I would talk to him about anything, whether it be work related or how was your weekend. Oh, he just completely turned away. He didn't acknowledge me, and it created a very toxic situation every time the two of us were anywhere near each other. Keep in mind, this is just before the holidays, and a rather busy season for what we were doing there, and he created toxicity. I think he saw me as a threat. Given my degree and my background, and he used that. I don't know, but unfortunately, so I'm an adjunct professor now, and earlier this year, I made it a goal that I need to network more with people because I often miss out on opportunities from not knowing they exist. Right, oftentimes when other people are hearing about opportunities organically, scouting out LinkedIn or some other job website, right, and I feel I'm being inefficient doing that. So I've been promising myself I need to network more. But then I found another job at another tutoring center, and it is toxic, but it's the other way around. And now I'm in part of the in group, and I feel badly about that. And I'm trying to remind myself when I go to the tutoring job that it's only a means to the end. I'm there to collect the paycheck so I can reinvest that into networking with other people, so I can reinvest that into traveling to Taiwan to meet the right people in my life, right? Or I can invest it into art supplies, right? I'm trying to remind myself that it's only that leg of the situation, right? And so, but at the same time, I feel like I'm committing some kind of a crime against humanity, and it's twisting me up. To give you an idea, 15 or 20 years ago now, I was a sperm donor, right? And obviously that was only a means to an end, right? I don't donate sperm in the sense that I want to create something great, right? In fact, I probably don't have the best genes in the world. It was a means to an end, so I can take that money to to actually meet somebody that I might give my sperm to, right? It was a means to an end, right? And so my tutoring job now feels like my first job that I'm only doing as a means to an end in 20 years. And it just feels off. This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show.